Today, I've cooked up probably one of the most toxic red-blue ace decks. This is a deck that everybody talked about, just needs generic support. This deck has such a generic leader effect that almost anything can work. So today, we're going to take that to the extreme. Yesterday, we did a video ranked, try hard, do the whole ace thing, yada yada whatever. But today, it's all about drawing cards. We're playing Sanji's Pilaf, we're playing this Izo that just draws 2 cards, Yamato that draws 2. Every single card basically that can draw us cards we're going to be playing. So I hope you enjoy this deck profile as always. I hope we can find some success with this list because this is a lot of fun. If you enjoy, subscribe as always. Let's have some fun with this deck profile. And here it is, the absolute genius that is this deck profile. Doing all of the things that Ace wants to do and doing it better. The thing that we're doing here that is different is going a little more wide with these smaller bodies that draw us cards, drawing cards even if we're going first, because that's important, drawing cards off of blockers to stay alive, because blockers, this gives us our leader ability without using our leader ability. This allows us to draw a card when the card is on play, we draw a card, it replaces itself, and then when it blocks out, we get out of an attack. So we can play really defensive strategies here and not really worry so much about the aggression and just build up a really large hand size. It's a lot of fun. We're not gonna do well into a blue deck maybe that maybe plays Charlotte Pudding. Maybe a deck that actually plays Pudding destroys us because of how much we're gonna draw. But I promise the goal today is to draw. We have searching here with the Garp. This card is amazing. It can find anything that is cost 3 or higher. So literally the only unsearchable card I believe that's in the deck is Otama and Garp. Everything else is searchable. Even Marguerite, like anything we want to play here, Sanji's Pilaf, like whatever we have, Garp can find it. It's really awesome. One of the best searchers ever made. And if you're playing a red deck that's Luffy, Sabo, or Ace, you're going to play this card 100%. Then we have Otama, a draw 2, trash 1. Marguerite, a draw 1 and a blocker. Cavendish, on when attacking, draw 2, trash 1. We're just filtering the hand like crazy. Marco's a draw 2, with leader effect it's a draw 3. So remember, don't forget our leader effect. Once per turn, when you receive a damage or one of your 6,000 base power or more is KO'd, draw 1 card. So when these cards are getting KO'd, they're also replacing themselves, drawing a card. Nami is a draw 3, place 2 at the top or bottom of the deck in any order. So we get to replace itself in hand. So we go even in hand size while putting down a 5/6 blocker. A 6k blocker is really important because then we get to draw 1 more card. Going +1 from the Nami. A draw 2 here for the Yamato and give a rested Dawn to the leader. Izo is just a plain draw 2. That's why it's a 2 of, because Yamato is just better. We get the Dawn, and it's the same stat line. Izo is just weaker, but we needed more drawing in the deck because we just don't have enough. We have 4 of the Sanji's Pilaf to draw 2 cards. Simple and easy. It does exactly what we need to do. You can do this on 4 Dawn. You can do this on 3 Dawn, whatever you feel like, because we can go 1 Dawn on leader and then tap 3 for Sanji's Pilaf, draw cards. And then we're running our usual 10 cost package. We're not running the 9 cost, but we are running the 10 cost package like we were before. This is your standard 2 of the Goldie Roger. Obviously, stopping your opponent from playing blocker when you have 0 life is really important and wins you a lot of games. 2 of the Tax Gate. This card just stops all your opponent's characters from tacking without discarding 2 cards. So now we just get to limit their hand size. And then, of course, 4 of the Blocker Newgate. This is a draw 2, trash 1. Give 2 rested Dawn to one of your characters and one of your leaders. We can cheat these out with the 8 cost here. This just cheats out a Edward Newgate from your deck or from your hand. And that's just really strong. You can also take life to give plus 2,000 to your leader. We don't normally do that, but in certain matchups we will. And that's the deck profile. I find that we can limit the amount of this card because of how much drawing we have. And if we don't find this card, we actually don't need it because we actually have options here. In Izo, draw more cards. Instead, I'll Yamato and draw more cards. Instead, I'll swing with Cavendish, draw 2, trash 1, then find it, and then happily play it. This deck, it's just fun. This is going to be such a fun deck to take onto the sim. So if you know what Ace does, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to take this on. We're only running 8 2K counters in today's deck profile, 4 of the Otama, and 4 of the Sabo for anti-removal, because, hey, why not? It's just a generic 4 cost that's searchable here with the Garp. Why not? We didn't really have any more draw 2Ks. I could do Kaya, but you lose a card in hand, so I didn't want to do that. We're trying to go up in hand size. I'm trying to have 50 cards in hand. And so, Red Blue Ace, let's take it on the sim. Let's have some fun, because this is going to be some fun OP13 testing right here. And like I said, leave a like and a comment. It's a free way to support your boy. We just got 3,100 subs. We just hit 3K last week, and now we're at 3,100. So thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Now let's play some games. Draw, 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 draw. That's the plan in this video. This is a weak hand. We're not going to keep that at all. Now this may cook, my boys. We're going to be able to Otama early because we are going second. They're going first. They grab a Silver's Rayleigh. So we're going to Otama, draw 2, and trash 1. Pudding is okay in the match. It's not my favorite. We're going to trash the Ezo because I'm rather Nami on that turn. So we're going to drop the Ezo here. Attach it on the leader in case they just swing really big or we want to take an attack to draw more cards. Because they're red-purple. They don't have a pudding. Here, we could counter out. We're not going to... I don't think there's a world we ever pudding here. Not in this situation. I think we just take this. I'm going to be greedy today. We're playing as greedily as possible, finding everything that we need. And now it's like, what do? We swing 7, and we play Sanji's Pilaf. Now we're going to be at 10 cards in hand. Pass to you, my friend. I am not mad about it. They took the first life, I believe. Yeah, they're down to 4, so they definitely took the first one. They're going to swing, it looks like 7 potentially, maybe 8. They swing 8. We'll try to counter. They play down a Sabo Luffy. Give the character minus 3k. Interesting enough. We're going to play down Marco this turn rather than Nami because Marco's just better. So we're actually going to use the Nami as counter and get out of that attack. Marco is just amazing. It's an immaculate card. Now we're going to be able to swing 7, play Marco, do all the things. Sanji's Pilaf can also be a counter in hand now. I don't think we're actually ever going to play that now that we're in this position. So 1 Dawn on leader, swing 7, 7 into 5. They should take this. I would assume at least. We don't really know. I think they played this out because they want to limit their hand size so we don't pudding them. But we have pudding as an option. We'll look at the top 5. Yamato's okay. We have our 8 cost already, so I think we're going to grab the 10 cost tax gate in case they start to go wide, and then play down to Marco and pass. So here they can play Silver's Rayleigh and rest our Marco, and we probably just lose the Marco at that point. We need a way to remove... We don't have any removal for the Bon Clay, because the Bon Clay is going to be a 12k attack in a moment. I don't really like a 12k attack, so they're going to do the Silver's Rayleigh, they're going to rest down the Marco, they're going to swing 6 at us and then 9 at us. So we will counter out of this and take the 9. I think we kind of have to. I guess we don't have to. We have a huge hand size. I'm going to be greedy. Well, I'm going to not be greedy, I mean. I'm going to not be greedy, which I think is more important. Then they're going to go to 10 Dawn, so we're going to have to tap 8, play out the 10 cost, and get 2 Dawn. We're not going to take a life. We're going to draw 2, trash 1. I'm going to trash the Cavendish here. 2 Dawn here, 2 Dawn on Marco. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to swing Marco here. We're going to save him to be a blocker and pass. So we're in a pretty good spot. We do know they run Goldie Roger, so we have to keep that in mind. They are building up a large hand size. So, hey, if we can mitigate that issue, we will. They'll probably play a 10 cost Shanks here. If they play 10 cost 12k Shanks, then they pop the Luffy, lowering the power of our new gate. I think that would be really strong. Just go ahead and get value out of this, because now that stops us from really blocking. Swinging 11 first, I don't think is correct, because I am just going to block this and draw a bunch of cards. So let's draw a lot and see what happens. We're not running Red Rock, so we can't even remove the Shanks here, which kind of sucks. We will counter out of this as well. I'm going to hit them with the Nami. Go ahead and get out of that. They're going to swing 9. We're just going to block, and then they're going to swing 12, and we're just going to take. I will just take a 12 here, for sure. Eat that up. Don't get to draw extra cards, because we already did that. We're going to go 1 into 1. If they counter, we'll swing 6 into it. I don't really care. 6 into it, just like I said. And then we're going to play the 10 cost 12k tax gate and pass. That's about all we can do in this situation. Stopping all their characters from attacking us, hopefully at least. Definitely, hopefully. We built up a large hand size, but this is not the kind of deck to go against a Goldie Roger because we can't remove these 10 cost Shanks. And the 10 cost Shanks just... It adds up, man. We're going to try to control their hand size, though, and go for lethal as soon as possible. If they play an 8 cost Roger and become a 9k leader, that'd be a little tough, I'm not going to lie. But to each their own, it is what it is. We have a huge hand, so I'm not too stressed about it. They go with another Shank, so looks like they're going to swing 7, and we're going to counter out of that with the Sanji's Pilaf. Go ahead and get out of the attack. Then they're going to swing 12. We're going to block, and then 2k, 1k. Get out of both of these attacks. And then we have to decide what to do. Well, we were going to have to decide what to do, but I just think another tax gate is just good. We're going to go and swing 10 into our opponent here. They could play down another Shanks, which would be kind of crazy. We'll tax the board and pass. Hopefully, we don't have to take too many hits here. Like, if they just start going in, we're kind of cooked. We only have the 1 blocker, but I think in this situation, they wouldn't want to do that, because if they do not get the game, they would just lose. So maybe we can bait them in, quote-unquote. But also, if we bait them in, I think we would just lose as well. I think we would just lose on the clapback, I'm not going to lie. So they could play down another 10 cost Shanks here. They could pop the Sabo Luffy, play it on a 10-cost Shanks, and just swing into the Newgate and try to clear him off the board. That's definitely an option, and then put us to 0 life. If we go to 0 life, though, we will have to Goldie Roger to go for game. But then it's only, what? that's actually kind of weak. Depends on how many swings they commit, I guess. But if they can remove the Newgate, whew. This is a tough match for sure. This is definitely a tough match here. We tax their entire board, though. I think they just, if I'm them, I just swing 7 and see what you do. I'm going to counter out of that, of course. Giving them a Yamato. That's going to be very telling that we're low on counter. Because if not, we would just 2k out, not committing our leader ability. Because then if they swing 9, 1k, 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 we're kind of cooked. So this attaches an active Dawn to the leader. That gives minus 3,000 power to our blocker. They Divine Departure our blocker. That's pretty good. That was insanely good, actually. We might be cooked. They play Otama and pass. Ooh, they're pretty smart here. They seem to be pretty smart here. Well, let's swing 7 into our opponent. And then we're going to swing 10-10. Actually, I don't think we can swing 10. Because if they take and then Goldie Roger, we lose all of our blockers, and we need blockers here. So I think we just play our blockers and then pass. Like, that is miserable. Place on the bottom. I guess place the bricks on the bottom. And then 1 Dawn active. What 2Ks are... Like, we could grab a Sabo, I guess. We could bluff a Radical Beam. I'm fine with bluffing a Radical Beam here. So, basically, the board state didn't change. They got a blocker on the board. We got a couple blockers on the board. We're both scared of Goldie Roger. I think that's the biggest thing, is you have to win this game and not have to, and still not lose to Goldie Roger. So that's where we're both in precarious situations here. They tap 9 for a Newgate, making their leader into a 9k, and they just pass. We're really doing this, huh? We are really doing this. Tap 1, but then we can never 10 cost. See, that tells me we both have Goldie Roger. That's going to remove our small blocker here. So I guess we need to look for a big blocker, like a Nami. Nami's pretty good. And then 5 for Nami. Draw 2. Place 2 on the bottom. We're going to put the 8 cost event and Marguerite at the bottom, because we're going to lose the Marguerite anyways, so we can't do much with it. And then attach 2 Dawn to the leader to bluff our leader effect and a Radical Beam and pass. So now, if they commit the Newgate, they pop the Marguerite. We now have a ton of counter. Like moments ago, I was like, hey, we have no counter. Look at us now. Now we're in a very good spot with what we have, because we're able to filter through the hand. They're kind of slow playing it for the most part. So it's just kind of whoever goes to 0 life first. And we have to get out of this first attack anyways. Now we know they can't Goldie Roger, right? So we can actually take this freely and go down to 0. Because if they commit the 2 Dawn here on the Newgate to pop the Marguerite, we go down to 0. But we're good. We should be good at least. Because 12, 12, 3 Dawn would be 12, 5 Dawn would be 12. So we have to counter out of 2 12s, which we can do. So we'll take this and draw a card. So now we know we're in the perfect safe situation where we shouldn't lose, because we can counter 2 12s and just block. 8, I don't think is correct. I don't think that's the right way to do it. We'll counter 1k. The issue is, can they get out of a Goldie Roger? 10. So it's going to be 10, 10, 12, 12. So we just need to counter the 10s. As long as we can counter both 10s, we're good. And they lose. We beat them in the end. Dude, that was a hard-fought match. But the amount of filtering through the deck we had while we got to hold the big tax beards, the Goldie Roger won it. We were both holding the Goldie Roger and scared of it. But the way they committed, they could not Goldie Roger us, so we were perfectly safe to take, build up the hand size, and win the game, dude. That was absolutely insane that we were able to take them down. All right, I'm kind of surprised by that first showing against an actually competitive deck. Our opponent chooses to go second, so we're stuck going first. I never really want a Sanji's Pilaf in this match, so we're going to pass. Look at the top of the deck. We could just swing a big 8 and then Marco. We also could Pudding. Pudding would be good to have, but letting them know we have Pudding is maybe not good. But we could actually grab the Pudding, Sanji's Pilaf on the next turn instead of the Marco. We could Marco and then Sanji's Pilaf and then play Marco. I think we grab Marco and then pass to our opponent. They get to draw, of course, going second. They probably don't play anything here. They play a Lilith Searcher. I guess they can grab something with Trigger. So we drew the Marco. Let's see what our opponent decides to draw. They are a 5-life leader, so they will have a lot of cards in hand. I just did not want to show them. They grab the Boa, stops one of our characters other than Luffy from attacking or our leader. It's actually pretty good value there, especially if we attack this early. And then they're going to play down another Lilith, so we know they have Boa, and then we're going to know the other card that's in their hand. It's going to be Jewelry Bonney, the 9 cost with Rush. That takes one of our lives. Here, we could Sanji's Pilaf. Then they're only swinging 7 next turn because they want to play a 4 cost. So actually we can Sanji's Pilaf here. We'll just swing 6 into our opponent and then Sanji's Pilaf. Because they're only swinging a 7k. Because they're going to play a 4 cost and put 2 down on leader. If they want to commit their whole turn, that's fine. They use the Basil Hawkins, draw 2, trash 1. Basil Hawkins really annoying for us. If they just attach a Dawn, they get out of a lot of the attacks. They trash the Boa Hancock they searched up. We'll draw 2 cards and pass. Ooh, that's pretty good. We can Yamato on the next turn, and then on the turn after we can go Marco, Garp, Garp, find our combo pieces. I think the Tax Gate's going to be pretty good in this match. They have another Basil Hawkins, so they get to put 2 down on the leader. And then we're not going to... Do we have a Marco next turn? Or is Yamato better? Draw 2. I don't think we'll need 2 Garps. We might need 2 Garps, man. No, we won't need 2 Garps. We have enough draw power. Because I'm going to take the instant value out of this Yamato. Draw 2. We got exactly what we needed. Like, that's what I'm saying. You consistently get what you need. Every single time, it feels like. 7 into our opponent. We can also Pudding on the next turn if that's the best play. Because it's looking like Pudding is going to be really good. Especially knowing that they have 8 cards in hand now. And some kind of trigger, maybe? No, no trigger? Okay, good. Pudding? Pudding is looking really good. Let me tell you. Pudding is looking immaculate this turn. They get to trash the top of our life through the Nico Robin. That sucks, because we also don't get to draw a card. Then they get to put 2 Dawn on their leader. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. That is pretty good. So maybe we should have taken a little earlier. We didn't, so not much we can do about it. We'll counter here. We're going to tap 4 for Pudding. We'll have 3 extra Dawn, 1 for Garp, 2 on leader. So I guess we get rid of the Marco and get out of the attack. I don't really like that they're critting our life like that, but we're kind of just stuck in it where we have to just accept it. We're going to Pudding, of course, because Pudding's just that strong. We're going to look at the top of the deck and grab a 4 cost or higher. Here, I think we'll grab, or a 3 cost or higher, I should say. I think Nami's going to be good to grab. We're going to swing 7 and then 7 into our opponent. We just got rid of their entire hand. So they're kind of not in the best spot. We can Tax Gate on the next turn because we're down to 2 life. We have a lot of options. They're going into 8 Dawn, so they can 8 cost Katakuri to remove something. That's not really good. They can 8 cost Kid and just crit a life, and that's not really good because they don't get their 2 Dawn. They can only swing 6. So I think we're in a really good spot. 7-7. They have to counter this one or they're going down to 1 life, which is kind of scary for a Bonney player. I think them hitting 8 is also really good for us because, I mean, they're not really doing much on 8 that's going to be proactive. Like, again, they can crit a life, which is really good. But I don't think we're worried about that because we can just Tax Gate. Tax Gate's going to be the MVP of this next turn because then they'll only have guaranteed 2 hits, which, I mean, just good value. Then we can swing 6, 7. I said the thing, guys. I'm sorry. 6 and 7 separately, not together. Not together, dude. Not together at all. 8 Dawn. They could just do a bunch of swings here. Really just get aggressive, get a little passionate with it. That could be pretty good. Especially, I mean, they did take us off curve, so They have the option to do so. We've just kind of controlled their hand pretty well, which I'm very happy about. Here we could... Ooh. Would we ever just let Yamato go to draw more cards? Because we don't really need to continue to apply pressure. We can kind of control board with the... No, I don't think so. I don't think we give it up that easy. I think we 1K if they continue to swing into it, then we get out. Yeah, see, now we know they're really wanting to remove this Yamato. I think we just let it go now and just draw a card for free. Now we got a good leader effect from the Cavendish, so we can just use the Cavendish to get out of attacks. We can swing the Nico Robin force counter. We can swing 7 into face now. We could go 5 and 6, but that's not worth it because then we don't get our leader ability. They have 7 Dawn. They could Stussy here. They may Stussy into Boa Hancock, stop our leader from attacking. Basil Hawkins. 2 Dawn on the leader. Oh, they're just going to swing big. They just want to go all out. They want to set up for their 9 cost, so we have to think about it. They are going to 9 cost in this next turn. Are we ever scared of the 9 cost? 9 cost rush. Take our life and then swing 10. We'd have to get out of that for sure. Because we're going to 8 cost here. It's going to stop all these from attacking. They're going to swing 7 and then 10. That's 2K, 2K, 2K. We would need one more 1K. No. Yeah, no, we'd need one more 1K, so we have to get out of this. We, like, have to. Because if not, we would just lose on the next turn. And that would not be good. Is there ever a world where it's better to play this 10 cost? Swing 6 into Nico Robin and then 8 into Nico Robin. There you go. Just leave Basil Hawkins, then that's only 3 attacks. Well, they're gonna play the 9 cost here, right? So I think it's actually better to play the Newgate here and then play Tax Gate. I think that's gonna be the best play line, especially to filter the hand. So we're gonna play out Newgate. We're not gonna take a life. We're gonna draw 2 and then trash 1. I think we trash the Marco in this situation. 2 Dawn on leader, 2 Dawn on pudding. Swing 6 into Nico Robin. And then, depending on what they decide to do, we'll either go face or board. If they counter out of this, we're going to go 8 into board. Probably go 9 into board, actually. If they do counter this, 9 into board I think is going to be... I think that should clear it. If it doesn't, that's a rough one. Okay, we're good. So now if they want to play the 9 cost like they do, they'll only be able to go 6, 7, 10. So 6, 7 is a 2K, and then 10 we take... Or no, then 10 we block. So we can get out of all the attacks, then tax the board. I think that's going to be the strongest in this. Kind of knowing their curve and what they're trying to do is kind of perfect for us because we can attack in pretty aggressively still. And we'll just be swinging 6 at face on the next turn. And then, I mean, if we're at 0 life, we also could Goldie Roger. Goldie Roger's pretty good, but I don't think that gets us there. Not this early in the game, at least. Not this early. They're going to do exactly as we said. It's going to be 6, which we are going to counter 1. It's going to be 9 cost. That's going to force us to take a life. And then put 2 Rested Dawn on their, or 2 Rested Dawn into their leader. Yep, so we take a life. We don't even get our leader ability because this is when you receive damage, which technically the wording there makes it seem like it would, but it doesn't, and it's kind of weird. We're actually going to trash the Marguerite and get out of the attack. And then if they swing the 10, we're just going to block, so there's no reason to swing. They should not commit that attack. Granted, they could. I wouldn't be mad at it. So here we're just going to swing 6 in the leader. And then Tax Gate. Tax Gate's the move. They should take this. In my opinion, they don't. That's going to just be less cards in hand. So it basically just guarantees we don't lose. Beautifully enough, it almost guarantees we don't lose. Because they don't have enough cards to attack multiple times. So like they could play a 9 cost and attack with that, but they won't have but one more attack. So they could go 8, 10, 10, which we can counter the 8. Ooh, actually. No, we would lose to a Bonney. We would actually lose to another 9 cost Bonney here. Because it would be 8, we can go 2K, 2K, and then it would be 10, which would be 2K. Unless we take the life and it just happens. No, even if it's counter. Can't get out of a 10. technically we can't get out of a 10 because we don't have a Dawn on our leader. If we had another 8 cost event there, we could have. Because we could have had the Dawn on the leader and drawn 2 cards. Alright. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Alrighty. Do we go for game on this next turn? Because we could block and counter. I don't think it matters either way. No matter what, I think we just would trash, block, 2k, and get out of it. We could do the 1-cost Vegapunk here, the blocker. That would be pretty good. That would be really bad for us. Maybe we should have taken that just in case, because then we could Goldie Roger and go 12, 12, 13. It's not guaranteed because they're yellow deck. They're thinking about committing. They have to discard 2 cards. We'll take the life, and then we'll counter out the next attacks. That most it would be a 6 after this. So first, no, they couldn't even do a 6 after this. They can only attack once. So I don't fully understand why they'd want to swing the Bonney here. Okay, we'll take. They don't have 2 cards to discard. So we're going to start with a 12 from the Newgate. We're playing around triggers here specifically. Because if they have like a blocker that comes out or something, we know what we need to do. So we do another 12. They should be guaranteed to hit, but I'm also worried, and I'd rather not risk it. So there's no way they can get out of this. It'd be a 4k and a 2k at most, which gets them to 11. And then we can just do 16, as long as this isn't a 0 cost. But if it was a 0 cost, we could still split. Now we don't have to. But if it was a 0 cost, the reason we did it how we did is if they got a blocker out of life, we can then Goldie Roger. If they got, something to control our board, or like a 0 cost trigger, then we can split with Pudding and Leader. So it was like the best in that situation. They said GG's. GG's, my friend. That was a good game. That was still close, but I think we handled it properly. The sequencing there is important, so I'm going to take a second to explain that, though. So we swung the 12 first because they don't have blockers, so we don't need to Goldie Roger right away, which a lot of people commit to this right away, and that is incorrect, especially against a yellow deck. So we start with a 12, they take no trigger, which is good for us, but if they did get, like, let's say a Karasu trigger or some kind of blocker out of life that we weren't expecting, maybe they're playing the 4-cost Sanji that forces you to discard a card to play a blocker, that would be great. Then we know we have to Goldie Roger. But say we did it in that one, right? Now we swing 12 again. If they 0-cost trigger, they get to gain a life. They're down to 1 card in hand, though, because they take the life, they have to discard a card, and go through all that. So they only have 1 card in hand. But they have 1 life. So now we have the ability to put 3 Dawn on Pudding, swing for 7. It's guaranteed to hit because of the 1 card in hand. And then if they hit somehow another 0 cost, we still have 7 total Dawn. So then they have to discard that last card in hand, forcing them to play the life to get another life. Then we can put 3 Dawn on Garp. Again, this is very important because you can win games because of this. Now we can distribute 3 Dawn on Garp, swing 5 into the leader, say it's another 0 cost. Guess what? We still have 4 total Dawn. So we can put 3 more Dawn on Garp, swing 5, hit, put 1 Dawn on leader. As long as it's not a 4th 0 cost in a row, 7 would be guaranteed because that last life would be the last card they get. And as long as it's not the blocker, because now we can't play Goldie Roger, we just win the game. It's all about math. I know that's a very weird play line, but this is very specific for yellow matchups, that you have to think about these things because triggers are crazy. You never know what they could get. They could have gotten the, this and rested down our Pudding and done something there, and we still had enough Dawn to commit to Garp, so we didn't want to commit Dawn first. We wanted to spread out if we need to. Did everything properly sequencing there against the yellow matchup. Good game to our opponent. On to the next one. Alright, we're going to go into our last game against Red-Black Sabo. We're going second. I don't like that hand. Not with our deck profile. If we had a different deck profile, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Now, I'm not liking this hand either. Our opponent takes first, so they're going to be just playing Koala, looking at the top 3 and grabbing a Rebel Army. They grab Dragon and then trash the other 2, so they trash a Dragon and a Hawk. We're going to 2-Dawn. We're doing nothing. We're doing nothing here. We could swing 6 and play Marco, which I think is probably the best bet on this next turn. That's what it's looking like at least, because then we can go into Yamato, so we can use Sanji's Pilaf as counter. Oh, we could take this, but I don't really think we do. wouldn't mind playing Cavendish, actually. So let's play Cavendish. Let's get some bodies on the board that can attack aggressively. So we'll go 6 and a leader. They're going to take because they're a 4K leader. And then we're just going to Cavendish. Boom. We're just trying to draw more cards than they do. They're a red-black deck, so we don't have to worry about... I mean, you could worry about Nico Robin, technically, but I don't think they play it in this deck. I mean, I ain't seen one. If they do, they're cooking. Hey, if you're cooking up like that, I respect it. They get a Waxing Fist. That's going to be a 4K counter when they get an 8 cost on the board. They're going to swing 6 into us, it looks like. Ooh, they're swinging big into us. We are going to counter this. Next turn, we're going to Yamato, right? Do we ever Marco next turn? No, I think we're going to Marco. Let's Marco. So, swing for... Let's force them to counter this. Because no matter what, we're going to swing 8. But that's going to force them to counter the first attack. Because if not, we're threatening Pudding. Yeah, I'm just going to Pudding this. They have 9 cards in hand. So we totally switch up. That's why we have to do the order of operations there. Now we get to draw 2 and then trash 1. I think I'm going to trash the Nami. I don't think we need blockers. We have the Marco for later anyways. So we'll trash the Nami. We haven't found the combo pieces we need. They take. We're going to pass. So we completely just ruined what they were trying to build up. They had a whole plan. The plan didn't happen. And that's really good for us. They grab a 1 cost, the stage. We totally threw them off. Now they did not have any other counter events or anything that they needed. They grab a Sabo here. That's going to be the 2K counter if they have 15 or more cards in trash. They play another Koala. Holy cow, we gave them every searcher ever. So they have 2 Sabos. They play a Sabo. They put a Dawn on the leader. They're going to swing 6 into something on our board. I'm going to get out of it with probably the Yamato, because I can Marco next turn. Keep talking about Marco, and then we're going to pull, like, the 8 cost. No, we didn't. All right, fair enough. We at least tried. So Marco is going to be 4. 1 Dawn on leader. So we can swing 6 with Pudding. I guess then we just do 6 with Cavendish. So we'll get the draw 2 trash one before we commit Dawn. Tax Spirit's going to be good on the next turn, but not this turn. We're going to Marco this turn. So I think we're going to trash Pudding. I don't think we're going to be able to Pudding them again. If we can, it'd be that way. So now we can go 4 Dawn for Marco, 1 Dawn on leader. So we can go 7-7. The reason we swung the Cavendish is because we didn't want to have to commit Dawn first in case we did get the 10 cost there. So we swung this because it was going to be 6 either way. But this one has to attach Dawn, this one doesn't. And this gets more value if they did get a trigger. Now we're going to swing 7 into our opponent. They're down to 2 cards in hand, which we should know what they are. It's like a dragon and something else and another 6 cost. They hit a trigger of some sort. Trash 1, draw 1 card, then trash the top part of your deck. They trash a Stussy, which is fine with me. We're going to tap 4 for the Marco and pass. So we're pretty ahead right now, I'm not going to lie. They are down to nothing in hand. We may be playing another game. We may be playing another game. They're going to go blocker, blocker. That's kind of crazy, actually. That's kind of crazy. They trash a card for the stage. They get to look at the top of the deck and then grab something. They have a dragon in hand. They grab a hawk. That's going to be a 1K counter. So they have 1K in hand. They're going to swing 7 into 8 into life. I'm just going to block and draw cards. Draw a bunch of cards. Give me them cards. Give me them cards. Let's start with a 6K. Draw 2, trash 1. I'm going to trash one of the Garps, because we're going to use a Garp this turn. They block out. So we're going to tap 1. We're looking for a 10 cost. We don't find it. We could just go with the Cavendish, because they're really low in hand size, so I think we go wide rather than tall. We're not worried about lethal. So I think we're just going to go wide here. We're going to Cavendish and Nami. Then we can't put a Dawn on later. We could Cavendish Marguerite. And then swing 6-6, because we'll have a blocker and a Cavendish. And we're not worried about lethal. So I think since we know they have limited counter, we're going to swing 6 and 6. We could go like 6 and then 9. But they can block 1K, and then we're going to go 6 in a face. We know the other card's a brick, so they can block him 1K this, but we're not really worried about it. They're going to let it go. We're just going to go wide, like I said, and then pass. We finally find our 10 cost if we need it, but more than likely we don't need it. GG's, we are going to play one more. We absolutely cooked our opponent there, swinging the big 8 first and then hitting the Pudding with the chance to go into, a different character into the Marco instead. Absolutely absurd play there. Totally dominated. This deck may be a lot better than we thought. All right, Last and final game is the game that everyone wants to see against Emo. It's just Emu. It's just you and me. Let's take second. And low key. Marguerite and Yamato. We have curve here. It's not great. Let's keep and see what happens. I want to see what happened here. If this is what we decide to do, I'd like to know if we can do it. They trash St. Mosgard to draw a card. Then they probably draw into the Charlia, I'd assume. They grab Never Existed. Then they have to trash a card for the Charlia. We're going to put 1 down on leader. We're going to Otama, draw 2, trash 1. Could Nami, we could Yamato. Nami or Yamato. I think we can actually Nami to get a blocker on the board, so we just trash the Yamato. And then pass to our opponent. So we're in a pretty good spot, because now we can Marguerite and then Nami, because we're going into 6th on to then draw 3 and put 2 cards at the top or bottom and filter through the deck, which is going to be better than just draw 2. Well, it's not better than draw 2, but it's an option for sure. Trash 1 card from your hand, kick up to 2 of your opponent's 2 costs or less. Okay. 5 in the face? Sure. You got me. You got me, buddy. You got me. We're going to swing 7 in the face. Okay, with 2 base 3 costs. Oh, they could do that again. They could technically do that again. The 5 Elders, they get to draw a 5 Elders from the top of the deck. We're going to tap 3, draw a card, pass. We have a perfect brick to pitch for the leader effect. They should tap 3 here for leader, swing 7 at us. Then they swing 6 if they're, trying to be a little more defensive. Pop the Charlia, draw a card. They can also pop the Rosward and then draw a card. On the next turn, they play Jay Garcia Saturn and then draw a card. From the top 5, they grab a St. Marcus Mars. We're going to go ahead and discard the fodder that's in our hand. And then, Marco's just better than Nami. It is literally just a better Nami every single time. We're going to swing 8. They're going to tap 1 and get out of it with the counter event. I'm assuming I never existed. Yep, makes sense to me. We're going to play the Marco out and pass. They can KO the Marco or the Nami, so they're both technically just as good. Marco's going to draw us 3 cards, which is good if they go with the, Marcus Mars to KO a 6 cost or less base cost character. That's pretty good. But either way, they would KO Nami or Marco, so it didn't really matter. They're controlling our board really well. So we're going to get to draw cards here, though, which is nice for us. I'm about to chain every single 10 cost in the world. I'm about to chain every single 10 cost known to man, known to God. They're going to swing 6. We're going to counter 1 with the Izo, because Izo's worse than Nami. And then here we're going to probably counter with the Marguerite for the 2K. Get out of that attack. They leave 1 Dawn active. They pop the Rosward, draw 1 card. And then we're going to do our things and our stuff. Play out the 10 cost. Not taking a life, because they're not going to put any pressure on our life. Draw 2. We're going to trash 1, which is going to be the Sanji's Pilaf. 2 Dawn, doesn't really matter. Just going to swing a big 8. They probably just block this. A good player just blocks this, I think. Because you don't really need to pressure me at all, Like, there's no... I don't think I need to remove their board, but they really don't need to worry about mine at the moment. Here, if they hit the Stussy... Stussy's tough, but this only saves 7 costs for us, so it doesn't really help us. 1 cost 3k, and then 1k. I think you blocked that, in my personal opinion. Maybe they didn't want to for the Stussy, so they could swing... No, they can't swing anything if they Stussy. That's at least good for us, I guess. They're going to rest 3, play out Najjuro, that's going to have a rush, and then minus 2,000 power to a character. They have 6 additional Dawn after this. They didn't hit the Stussy on curve, which is really good for us, because we get to keep our 10 cost 12k. But we haven't found a tax gate, so that's what we need to worry about. We go Mercury. They're going to be able to swing, looks like just 6 and 6. So we can just counter this with the pudding, because we're not going to need to pudding them, obviously. They're going to go 6 and 6. We're going to go counter and then block. Block, get out of the attack for free. And then we're just going to play another 10 cost. Yep, draw 2. We're going to trash 1, which is going to be the Marco. We're going to play Tax Gate on the next turn. Marco may be good later, but we can always Nami instead, so we'll be okay. At least keep the counter. Put 2 Dawn there. We're going to swing 8 into face. Totally ignoring the board at this point. They want to go 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and then 10 cost Elders, because we know they have a 10 cost Elders. We're okay with that. It looks like they don't want to, so I think we can commit here, 14, and get the blocker. Either way, we're blocking out of attack. I guess that's a little more on their terms, but I think we're fine with that. I think we're okay with that. Oh, they don't have the 10 cost? No, they should have the 10 cost. The 5 Elders? I guess not. Maybe they trashed it earlier. Now they get to pop the Charlia, draw another card. They have the 5 Elders. That's going to be 3 Dawn. They should attack in first. Yep, there we go. So they're going to go 6 in us, 7 in us. 7 in us I'm just going to get out of. I'm just going to 2k out of that with the Sabo. Dude, this deck may be a lot better than we thought. Legitimately, maybe a lot better than we thought. We're going to give up the Yamato, because the Nami's at least good in case we need blockers. And then we can just block out of the leader attack. Because then we're going to tax gate, obviously, on the next turn. Just block for free. Oh, we can't tax gate, so we have to do the draw 2 trash one, because we didn't take a life. Which I think is also fine. I don't think we need the tax gate, to be honest. They get to build up the huge board. They're missing Bald guy. He's in there. We know he's in there. There we go. They get to swing another 7. Do we ever block this? Do they discard a card to pop Marguerite? They gotta never existed now, which is pretty good. That is pretty good. They discard the 5 Elders to pop the Marguerite, so we can't block out of the Najjuro attack. If they swing 7, we take it. We take it, and then we just 10 cost. Now we can just play the new gate. Get to draw some cards, and then 10 cost. Tax the whole board. Actually, is it better to 10 cost then tax gate when we don't have value and they have such a small hand? I actually think this is better. Draw 2. We're going to trash 1. 2 Dawn, 2 Dawn. We're only going to swing... Do we even swing here? I'd get a body off the board, but we have 3 blockers. They have 7 attacks. 6 on board and then the next Najjuro. I think we do swing in. They could never existed if they really want to go aggressive. Do we ever attack in? I don't think so. Because we can just block out of all the attacks. So, should be good here. We have a ton of counter in hand. And we have the tax gate, which is, you know, really good with their limited hand size. So we can kind of commit in on the next turn. And then we can Goldie Roger after to follow up. 8. Can we ever just take an 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can go 3 Dawn. So the smallest attack is going to be a 6. I think we can just take this. Draw 2 cards. We get the pudding. The pudding is going to be our discard fodder here. Get out of this attack. We should have dropped the Yamato, not the Nami, just in case. But it should be 8, 8, 8, and then 6, and then 8. That should be where the attacks come in. Because they rest 3, they play the 5 Elders, they rest 1 more Dawn. So I guess it would be 6, and then it would be a 7, so I don't say the thing. I didn't want to say the thing there, so I made sure not to. We could take this, and then we could Goldie Roger now, actually. I think Goldie Roger just guarantees lethal. If we take this attack, if they swing in with a Najjuro, if they swing with a Najjuro, that's actually incorrect. They grab the world equal, so a 3k counter. Yeah, I think we could just take. We also could counter. Because tax gate just guarantees we don't lose, right? So we could technically go 1 more turn just to be extra safe. Just to be extra safe, we're going to do that. Because we just guarantee don't lose no matter what. Six in the lead. Yep, they have to counter that. Tax gate. We can swing. No, we just don't swing. No, we do swing once. No, we just don't swing. So we don't even want to give them more draw. We just pass. Because at most they can have 2 swings here. They can't swing anything on the board. But now we're kind of just at an impasse. If they swing us, that's actually incorrect as well. Fun fact. But I think we just have more draw power than they do, so we can just keep going. So we get to tax their board. I think actually taking would have been better. Could kind of force them to go in. They're actually making a mistake. They should not attack here. They should not attack. So now I'm just going to 10 cost. Goldie Roger. They trash a card, draw a card. They find something to play. We're going to find out. Play a blocker. Because technically I don't even think we lose with the 3 blockers up. They would have had a 4K, a 1K, and a 1K. So 6K total. So we'd go 6, they counter, 12, can't counter, 12 can't counter, 12 can't counter, 12 can't counter, 13 can't counter. GG's to our opponent. That was a fun match, dude. This deck may be a lot better than we thought, man. I'm not kidding when I tell you this much draw power is kind of absurd. I don't know why nobody's tested this before, and I don't know if we're the first person to come up with this idea. I have not seen anyone with a list like this. I made this list today specifically, so hey. All I'm saying, we're cooking up here on the channel. As always, if you enjoyed, please like the video and leave a comment. It helps me for free. We're at 3,100 subs, so if you are not subscribed, you're kind of not catching the wave. So let's keep pushing up. 5K by the end of the year would be absolutely insane. So I appreciate you guys so much for the support. Let's keep playing some One Piece. Let's have some fun. OP13 is right around the corner, November 7th. I can't wait to see you there. I'll see you in the next video. See you at the next card show, wherever that may be. The next card show for me is Salisbury, North Carolina. The Booster Pack Bash by PAL Productions. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.